Welcome back, girls. As you know that we cannot upload large size videos, so my lecture is based in two parts. If you remember, we were studying the lower respiratory tract, and while discussing that, our next structure in focus is glottis. Glottis is the opening of the larynx which leads into the trachea, and it is lined with a mucous membrane. So it is also always slimy and wet. The vocal cords which are present in the larynx, they are elastic fibers, and they are when stretched, when their muscles are stretched and air passes over them, they start to vibrate and produce sound. So these elastic fibers, they are also referred to as vocal cords. The trachea itself, or the windpipe, the main tube which leads to the lungs, it is a membranous tube. It contains about 15 to 20 C-shaped cartilages. They are reinforced with smooth muscles. That is, the membranous structure, it has smooth muscles to reinforce it, and also the cartilage. From the trachea, two branches appear, the two main branches leading into the right and the left lung. These branches are referred to as the bronchus. So, the bronchi, plural of bronchus is bronchi, divide into primary bronchioles, which further divide into secondary bronchioles, tertiary bronchioles. This process goes on until the bronchiolar thickness is only less than 1 millimeter. So then they further lead into smaller terminal bronchioles. The terminal bronchioles further divide into respiratory bronchioles, which have alveoli in the form of a bunch of grapes. The alveoli have alveolar ducts and the alveolus itself. The alveolus, they are about 700 million in our lungs. The alveolar wall is about 0.1 uh, 0.1 centimeter thick. Collagen and elastin in cells prevent collapse and help in breathing. They expand and contract easily because of collagen and elastin. These are two types of proteins which help in the expansion and contraction of the alveoli. Now, the mechanism of breathing. For mechanism of breathing, that is how air is taken in and drawn out. The structures which help in the mechanism of breathing, these include the diaphragm, the intercostal muscles. There are two sets of intercostal muscles, the external intercostal muscles and the internal intercostal muscles. Now, during inspiration, that is when we take in air, the diaphragm flattens. Usually at rest, it is a dome shaped structure. But when air needs to be taken in, the muscles in the diaphragm, they contract, and the shape of the diaphragm changes into a flattened structure. Contraction of external intercostal muscles and relaxation of internal intercostal muscles takes place. So this causes the the volume within the lungs to increase, and therefore the air pressure inside the pleural cavity falls, causing the air to rush into the nostrils and through the windpipe into the lungs. During expiration, the relaxation of the diaphragm causes it to change back into its dome shape. The relaxation of external intercostal muscles and the contraction of the internal intercostal muscles causes the rib cage to be drawn backwards. When we were studying about inspiration, the intercostal muscles, the external ones contracted and the internal ones relaxed. This caused the rib cage to move upward and forward. When in case of expiration, the external intercostal muscles they relax and the contraction of internal intercostal muscle occurred. This causes the rib cage to move backward and downward, causing less space inside the pleural cavity. This causes an increased pressure inside the pleural cavity, and therefore, as the air outside has less pressure than the lungs, the air from inside the lung rushes outward. Our next topic is the respiratory volumes, like breathing, which includes both inspiration and expiration. It is a cyclic process, and the movements which are causing the chest walls and the lungs to expand and contract, these are carried out by, as we referred earlier, by the diaphragm movements and by the intercostal muscles. So during these movements,